No Damian Woody. No Marcus Spears. Oh, I'm sorry, Swagoo. None of those guys. I guess Molly and Max will be here eventually, but I'm just looking around. I'm looking for anybody that picked the Cowboys. I'm looking for anybody out there that said the Cowboys is going to win. I'm looking for little Cowboy fans everywhere. It's the day after Thanksgiving, and I'm quite sure you're not happy today. Keep hope alive, though. Keep hope alive. Somehow, some way, we're going to get it done. We're going to get it done. That's what y'all been telling that old dude, Stephen A., didn't you? But it ain't going to happen. I'm so sorry. I actually wanted to wait until Christmas to break this news to you. Unfortunately, the Dallas Cowboys beat me to it. First thing, right there.
The confidence of this Cowboys team is ebbing.
Don't tell me what to do.
They've been pantsed in the schoolyard today is what they've been.
Ain't got no time to lose.
I'm still glad that when I get up in the morning, I can look for ways to help our team. One of them is not a coaching change. One of them is not reworking the offense or the defense. Those aren't alternatives for us to be ready to play over the next month and give us a chance to be what we want to be.
I was starting to get worried about Southern Steve, but I'm glad that he is back in full effect. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into First Take on Black Friday. Hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Southern Steve to my right, Max Kellerman, Louis Riddick. I'm Molly Karam Rose. You must be in a mighty fine mood.
I'm here for this.
Yeah, you're here for all of it.
I'm here for every single bit of this.
How do? How y'all doing?
Fantastic.
You know, did y'all have wonderful Thanksgiving?
Wonderful Thanksgiving. Did you eat well? Because the Cowboys didn't.
I most certainly did.
Okay.
I must say I want to give a shout out to my sister Carmen, that lovely, beautiful meal that she gave me. And she also had this beautiful big TV in our house. And it had the Dallas Cowboys all over it, you know. And so I sat there from start to finish while I was eating my turkey, my macaroni and cheese, my candy yams, my stuffing, her beautiful, beautiful corn muffins. The list goes on. And I watched those Cowboys for 2.5 hours. Stink up the joint.
You like that strip sack?
It wasn't beautiful. It wasn't beautiful to see. I must
Did
Swagoo
text?
You know what? I haven't heard from Swagoo. You know, I mean,
Swagoo was all over Instagram though, and the food was legit.
Here's the deal. Swagoo was trying to act like he was out there. You know, he was trying to act like he was out there doing cardio when in fact that he was pushing his beautiful daughter in a little tricycle there, and because he was doing everything that he could to distract himself from the attention that he so richly deserves. And that Damian Woody, see, he got that plate of food to hide behind on Thanksgiving. I told y'all that. He got that plate of food to hide behind. But ultimately, this is the day after. Now, even though he's still going to eat, because we know he's going to eat, at the end of the day, it don't really matter. He picked the Dallas Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, my gosh. All right.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's get right to it, Southern Steve. So good to have you with us this morning. And festive spirit. Is it a mistake to keep Jason Garrett as coach?
It most certainly is. Let's be real about something here. You have a situation. This is the only stat you need to look at. In all seriousness, this is the only stat you need to look at. Ezekiel Elliott, 12 carries for 71 yards. Ezekiel Elliott had 7 or 8 carries for 56 yards in the first quarter.
Why go away
And
from
you
it?
forgot about him. Against the 19th ranked defense against the run in the National Football League. If that don't tell you all you need to know about Jason Garrett, I don't know what is. Jerry Jones hasn't paid Dak Prescott yet. He hasn't paid Amari Cooper yet, who almost got him. So I don't know how his D is, even though he ultimately went out and came back into the game. But that was a nasty hit. The point is, the one person that you did pay outside of your defense with Jalen Smith and those boys, you did pay Ezekiel Elliott. You did give him $90 million. It was $50 million in guarantees. And the team itself is built to run. not to pass. But here we are. We see Dak Prescott throwing the football 49 times, and Ezekiel Elliott has 12. And then here's the thing that kills me. You know what people actually say right now?
What?
Well, the noise from Jerry Jones over the last week or so, it affected Jason Garrett. I mean, clearly, he knew he was coaching for his job, and as a result, it might have compromised his coaching decision. Well, does that explain last year? And the year before that? And the year before that? And the 8 years before that? The man has been the head coach for the Dallas Cowboys for the better part of the last 10 years, 8 complete seasons. He's en route to his 9th complete season this year. How many excuses are you making for this man? He's got 2 playoff victories. And my last point is this. When a quarterback is struggling, they'll change up. If a wide receiver, a tight end, an offensive tackle, they'll change up. I'm watching Bill Cowher with his motivational speech yesterday, and I love Bill Cowher. Remember, he's a Steeler. He won a championship to the Steelers.
Game, yeah.
But excuse me, it's like you sitting around appalled at the thought of somebody getting rid of Jason Garrett. You get rid of players every day. Why can't you get rid of a coach that ain't getting it done? I don't understand it. Of course, he should be going right now.
Bill Cowher's point more so was that they're not out of it yet, though. That's what he was trying to say. You still got 4 games. You're still in.
Right, but he was also doing it to sort of motivate and encourage Jason Garrett. I'm saying, excuse me, I've seen the Steelers at 500 with Bill Cowher make changes because dudes wasn't getting it done. How come you can't do the same for a coach? That's all I'm saying.
The Cowboys were never going to really be in it. They were never going to win a Super Bowl because the coach wasn't good enough. And, you could see it last year. I kept bringing it up. When it's 4th and 1, you're at midfield. You drafted Ezekiel Elliott 4th. You wound up paying him. Well, this is before you paid him. But you drafted him 4th. It's working. You punt. That's all I need to know. There are so many, I know what this sounds like. Maybe if I were in their position coaching for my job, so to speak, with kind of an ignorant culture around me in terms of the kind of questions the media might ask and all that stuff, and an owner maybe who's impatient. Maybe I do the same thing. But NFL coaches for the longest have just been cowards in those situations, going for go for it on 4th. You're going to give up 75. You're going to give up 25% of your possessions because you're scared of a negative result, just constantly punting. And then yesterday he goes for it when he's not supposed to because he's felt the pressure that he needs to go for it. That was the problem to start the season. You don't fire him now, though. The team's still playing hard. They're just not playing smart. It's not like you didn't see them give up. You just saw them make mistakes. That's also a coaching issue, but it tells me you're not going to replace Garrett right now with a coach that's going to help him win the Super Bowl this year. Jerry Jones is going to have to pick a coach next season and change some things with the Dallas Cowboys, including, by the way, we'll get into this going forward, I'm sure. I heard some comments, and I apologize. I hear and listen to watch so much stuff, I don't always remember the source, where he was basically, Jerry Jones was showing you he's anti-analytics. And someone even followed up and said, but if you're drilling for oil somewhere, and he's like, well, still, then you need to have a feel for it and all this. It's Jerry, if there's 75% you're going to find oil there, you know what? 25% of the time you won't. But that doesn't mean you just do it by your gut. You do it based on the best information. The Dallas Cowboys are not run that way, and that's another problem associated with Jerry Jones's ego that's keeping them down. The first one, of course, is the issue of the coach. He won't hire a coach who's going to get the credit for winning with a big, strong personality because his own ego can't take it. Yeah. That was a problem before the season started. I don't think you could fix that right now.
Well, eventually, everybody has a breaking point as far as the pain they can take. Okay, and Jerry has tasted what the fruits are at the very top of the mountain, what it's like to be a Super Bowl champion. He knows what it takes to get there. The question that you're alluding to is whether or not he's willing to do what is necessary as far as sacrificing some of his own personal gratification in order to get back there again. Meaning have a coach who understands this is how my football team is built, this is how it needs to play in order for us to have the best chance to win football games. And right now they're not doing that. They are run-centric, they're offensive line-centric, they're Zeke-centric. Stephen A. pointed out, or Southern Steve, or whatever he calls himself, I think he was he was crossing. Okay, well, he was crossing. You were crossing back and forth from you. But anyway, it's like
I had to name him Southern Steve.
But I love it though. I like that. I like that guy. Yeah. So anyway, what happened? Look, yesterday when you know that the owner and the principal decision makers have decided to pay the offensive lineman and pay the running back, and they have decided not to pay the quarterback yet or the wide receiver, and you go away from those guys who you invested all the money in, that in itself is enough. That right there is enough for me to say this. If I'm not telling you to do that, meaning me, the owner, then we have a problem here. Mm-hmm. Unless I was telling you to do it, in which case you can be 500 all you want. Because if I'm telling you to coach that way, I'll keep you around as long as I want. But if Jason is making these decisions on his own, then he has to go. And he's already proven he isn't really capable in crucial moments of doing it, and that's why they're just not going to renew his contract.
And let me get back to this notion because listening to a lot of people talk, it's utterly ridiculous to make a move right now. Excuse me, it is not. First of all, if you're the Dallas Cowboys, I don't give a damn what any of those players say. Oh, it's on us. We support our coach. No, how you support your coach? By going out there and performing.
Yeah.
That's how you support your coach. Now, we saw numerous plays just yesterday. 4th down play to Ezekiel Elliott when you throwing out to him in the flat. What kind of play was that? That wasn't just a throw on Dak Prescott. There were 2 defenders in the vicinity.
He missed the throw he threw at his feet?
That's right.
Yeah,
he wasn't. There was 2 Bills defenders right there. He wasn't going anywhere. Even if he did catch it, it was a horrible play call. A horrible play call. Not giving Ezekiel Elliott the ball at least 25 times is a horrible decision. The fact is that was just yesterday. That was just, I can go to a whole bunch of, yes, your field goal kicker is trash and he's messing up. I get all of that. Dak Prescott didn't have the greatest game. I get all of that. But we're talking about decision makings here. And if you replace him, I'm not talking about bringing in somebody new. I'm talking about keeping somebody that's already in tow where you don't completely disrupt, but you send a message to the players. I just got rid of my boy. You know nobody else is safe. Yep. I'm coming for all of y'all. You better get on it and get it done. You don't walk around in cruise control talking about we 6-6. We just got to get it together now with the same people we have. There needs to be a shake-up.
All right.
And it needs to be now.
Let's get a break in. We're going to continue this conversation. Here's what I know. Dallas is 0-5 against teams now with winning records, and the AFC East has pretty much owned them. Happy birthday, Dad. Plenty more on the Cowboys' problems, including if everyone should still be convinced Dak is the future at quarterback in Big D. Plus, it's been a rough 4 years for Jim Harbaugh against the Buckeyes. What should we expect on Saturday? Will that change? Tim Tebow will break that down. And does Action Jackson need a bigger game than Jimmy G if the Ravens hope to keep pace with the Pats? Find out why the answer is no when First Take continues.
Action Jackson was called what?